You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh,
you know what time it is. Raw with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. And it's Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the uttermost to the public housing. If we don't play, our wide receivers got your secondary shook, so they cook them like Bobby Flay. Hey, stay out of my way and trust me, cause I know it's OH. Somebody please give this brother an IO. Come on.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's Mello. And boy, do we have a show for you today. I can't wait to read the comments after this. I can't wait to hear what people got to say. I love it, man. I love it when a good plan comes together. You know what I'm saying? And
yes,
Ohio
sir.
State,
you gotta love it.
Yeah. Ohio State has a good plan, took a lot of heat for it, and now I think it's heading in the direction that Ohio State is going to come out the other end of this, the winners, which is kind of what they're used to doing, winning. We just won the national title, so that's what we like to do. But Mello, how's your day been, bro?
Man, my day is great. Awesome. Can't complain. Nice and sunny, hot down here. So definitely trying to stay in the AC. How about Florida? How's it down there?
Bro, it's hot, man. Hot. I just got back from Panama City Beach, hanging out with a couple family members I haven't seen forever. That was just a blessing. Quick reminder, man, family's everything. If you got some family you haven't seen for a minute, dude, reach out to them, go see them. It just, family just hits a little bit differently. But yeah, man, moving into my new home, that's a blessing as well. So,
absolutely,
just been on the grind, man. And, Rivals merging with On3, but they still have their separate rankings. They came out with their new rankings today, and it's not one we use often, to be honest with you. But I personally, anymore, I don't have a favorite ranking. I think all of them are just as right and just as wrong as the next one. I honestly do. But we're going to go over some of those rankings, and the Buckeyes in the trenches this class, according to those rankings, are looking strong. And there's certain players that I agree with their rankings, and we're going to go over those. There's 15 Buckeyes in the Rivals top 300 new rankings. There are several in the top 100. And also, man, I've been on the phone here lately, dude. I've got, how we are, Mello, and the Buckeye Boys. We've talked to so many people, so many recruits, so many parents, and been on the phone with several people. And we're going to dive into that second half of the show. But there could be some decommitments coming from some national top recruits from other teams, from some of these teams that are paying high dollar amount. Might be getting a little scared now with what's going on in Congress and what's going on in college football right now. And I've personally had some conversations with a couple of them and have heard it out of their mouth with what's going on. So we'll dive into that. But first, I want to dive into these new rankings. A couple of the other sites, 247 On3, they haven't updated their rankings, right? So Rivals, they just did this, and I don't know if this is the On3 and Rivals update. I really don't know. That whole deal they got going on is very confusing. But either way, I'm stoked with this Buckeyes class. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a lot of movement. Not in the Ohio State class, but there's going to be a lot of movement. I suspect a couple more big dogs to be added to this Ohio State class that we're not talking about. Names that have never been mentioned, specifically on the defensive line, possibly being added to this class from the things that I've been hearing. So remember I said that. So let's start with Sam Greer, man. Rivals moved him to the number 14 player in the nation, right? 6'7", 320 pounds. We saw him at the Rivals camp. We saw him dominating everybody. I think he's ranked as the number 3 offensive tackle, on the number 4, whatever. He's number 14 overall. And that matches what we here at the Buckeye Boys have always thought about Sam Greer. So anything to add to that, Mello?
Yeah, he made a huge jump. He went from 96 to 14. So it showed you that they were super underrated. And I mean, what changed? He went to rivals camp and dominated everybody, but you could see that on the film. You could look at his basketball highlights and know that he was just a monster and a mean dog. And like I've been saying from day one, that's my favorite offensive lineman in the country in this class. I'm not apologetic about it. I think he's going to be a monster. And I'm glad he's going to be wearing Buckeye colors.
Yeah. Now, I got to be honest with everybody, right? That's just what we do on this show. And my thought process to these ranking updates, when you see a player go from not ranked to top 50 in the nation, which you're about to see here, the next person we talk about, you can go either way with it. You can go the route, this player, that, hey, this is correct. But it also goes to show you the lack of information that these recruiting sites have, the lack of ability that they have to rank these guys properly. How do you go from not ranked at all? The past 2 years, they've been making this list, not ranked, to the number 38 player in the nation. That should tell you all you need to know about star rankings, about how they can get some right, but they also can miss a lot. Like these recruiting services, they're asked to do a lot, man. That's a lot of high schools to cover, a lot of players to cover. And you got to think about it. You know, when they're looking at a player, it's not like everybody on the scouting team goes and watches this player in person. It's one person from the scouting team that goes, watches this player in person, and then they report back their opinion to the rest of the group. And that's how they decide what these players are for the most part. So, you know, you're going to win some and you're going to lose some here. But this next one, ma'am, you Larry Johnson haters, you're going to not like it at all. But it just is what it is, man. Kari Wilder got moved up to the number 38 player in the nation, the number 3 defensive lineman in the nation. That's how the Buckeyes have been viewing him. That's how Kari Wilder is on the Buckeyes board. He was right up there with Luke Waffle and all these other defensive ends that we've been wanting to go get. That's Kari Wilder. In the Buckeyes' eyes, that's where he is. And now this ranking has matched that. Now he went to the rivals camp, dominated. This is a rivals list, yada, yada, yada. But I'm just telling you, on the Buckeyes board, Kari Wilder is a 5-star defensive end that could possibly contribute when he gets in here.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. All it took was him to dominate their number 1 offensive tackle in Felix Ojo, who is a great prospect. I still think he's going to have a brilliant career. I don't know if he should have chose Texas, but I mean, $5 million is a lot of money to turn down at 17, 18 years old. So I don't blame the kid at all. He's a great kid. He's been on this show a couple of times. So when you dominate a talent of that caliber, and the mannerism that Kari Wilder did, I mean, you're gonna fly up the ranking boards, the recruiting boards. And I mean, and after this season, he'll probably even jump even higher. He might end up being a true 5-star.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. I think he is going to wind up a 5-star for sure in this class. He's just a baller. I'm going to go down through the rest of these pretty quickly. We got Blaine Bradford, the number 46 player in the nation. Chris Henry Jr., the number 50. That's going up. Just gonna let people know that this isn't some homer take, man. Chris Henry Jr. was the number 1 player in the nation. Got hurt, didn't play, so they bumped him down to number 50. I don't know how I feel about that. That's extremely confusing, right, on how you can possibly do that, but they did it. So when he plays this year, he's going to shoot up there. Sincere Johnson, 51 player nationally. Damari Simeon, look at this, man. Imagine this. A defensive tackle, the number 78 player in the nation. What have we been telling you on this show? Damari Simeon is on the Buckeyes board as high as Deuce Gerald's is.
Yeah.
It's just what it is, man. That's what he has looked at. He's on that level. So we have a top defensive end and a top defensive tackle in the nation committed in this Buckeyes class that wants to be here, that took less money, that wants to be here for the competition and the culture. So you just got to love it. Jacob Weatherspoon, the corner. A lot of people want to down this corner class right now. The number 127th player overall, Ohio bred, Avon, Ohio, 127th overall. Favor a key, running back, might be our only running back in this class, number 162. Simeon Caldwell, number 201. Jordan Thomas, 225. Jaden Ricketts, 236. Brock Boyd got a jump, 248. Caden Dixon Wyatt, 263. That's wild as well. CJ Sana, 276. And there you go. Those are the Buckeyes that have been rated. The new Rivals update. So that's one of the recruiting service that's the most recently updated list out of all the recruiting services that we have. Mello, anything to add about those names I just brought up?
Man, some of them are just crazy. Blaine Bradford being that low is crazy. Obviously, you already hit on Chris Henry Jr., so there's no need to go there. Caden Dixon Wyatt, that low is crazy. I still think Sincere Johnson's a little bit low, to be honest with you. But we're going to see it play out. I think Ohio State's board and how they recruit, like, you can't argue with it. It presents results year in and year out. So how can you argue with it?
Yeah. You know, I didn't read Maxwell Riley's name, did I?
No.
He's on that list too. I don't know why it's not on there, but Maxwell Riley on Rivals is ranked as a top 10 tackle in the nation.
Okay.
So as of right now, the Buckeyes have 2 top 10 tackles in the nation, according to Rivals, committed to their class. So
right.
Talk about an offensive line. And I think Ohio, the state of Ohio, is ranked 4th in number of football players in this new top 300. You got Texas, Florida, Georgia, and then I think Ohio comes in with 16. Maybe I might be wrong there, 4th or 5th, but still 16 players from Ohio are on this. So, man, I'm jumping back on that bandwagon. Let's fill this offensive line up with Ohio players, please. Both of them are top 10.
They're 5th, though, because it's Texas, California, Georgia, Florida, and any particular order, and then Ohio. But that's top 5. Yeah. That's still ridiculous.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, good news there. This offensive line, you still got Tucker Smith there.
Mm-hmm. Darius Gray's about to commit soon.
Man, yeah, he's very good. Darius Gray's about to commit. I think he's an LSU lean, but I think a lot of things are going to change during this second half of this show. I'll talk to you about that. But
yeah,
I think the offensive lineman that we need to pay close attention to is Dayron Parks right now, formerly Hurricane West Virginia, now in Florida. He's like 360 pounds. He's got all the offers, Alabama, everywhere. A lot of people in the Woody are saying, hey, man, watch out for this guy. He's got some serious upside. I believe he's committing. And I think the Buckeyes got a shot here. So that'll round out that class. But overall, again, this class that we have right now, these new updated rankings, I think speaks to the talent that the Buckeyes currently have in this class. And I'm excited about it, man. 2 top 100 defensive linemen.
Yep.
And dude, that just speaks to Larry Johnson, what he's able to do right now. It's just crazy to me because do we not understand, like, Damari Simeon and Kari Wilder, like, they had bigger offers, folks, right? So this recruitment had to be won the old-fashioned way, the getting out on the trail, the building relationships, the earning the trust of the family and the players. Like, that's how it was done. Now there's a long way to signing day. So we'll see if we can hold this class together. But, man, overall, I'm excited. I think the class is ranked. The new Rivals update has them ranked 8th or something, way down there. Again, I don't pay that much attention to that, period, but a lot of people do. So I wanted to kind of give you guys what the updated rankings speak about. So
absolutely.
Melo, anything to add to that before we move on?
Man, it's just a testament to the player evaluation that the staff does. I don't understand why people want to bash the staff when they're just putting all their hopes into these recruiting services and rankings. Yes, we have missed out on some kids because of some money situations, but hey, that might change.
Yeah, we've missed out on some kids for the time being, right? Yep. For the time being. I'm very entrenched into this recruiting thing, nil go, the CSC, and what's going on right now. And I'll kind of give you my best understanding. I'm only going to give you guys like the I'm not going to dive super deep into it because I don't really want to try to talk about something that I don't have complete understanding of. And plus, there's a lot of answers out there that, I mean, shoot, college coaches don't even know the answer to yet. So, as of right now, NILGO, right, and CSC, they have been turning away any deals, right, because they have to turn in the deals they're offering these kids, right, to NILGO for them to get approved. Well, if that deal is coming from a NIL or collective or anything like that, they are denying it. They are saying, no, the deal has to come from an actual business. And a collective's business is to buy recruits to get them on a team. They take donations from people, they give it to recruits, and a group of these collectives got together and they're now suing that decision, saying that decision goes against the House settlement, right? Where the NCAA has to pay back billions or millions, whatever dollars. They're saying it goes against that, in that, right, these NIL collectives are a business. They should be considered a business. Well, while that is going on, the NCAA or CSC and NILGO, they're fighting that, saying, no, this is in line with the House settlement, right? So as that's going on, Congress has been presented a bill called the College Sports Compensation Act. And in this, they're trying to pass a bill, a bipartisan bill that establishes professional guidelines for agents, right? Can we all agree, chat? Can we agree that there needs to be some guidelines on these agents, right? There's agents out there charging 20%, right, to these recruits. There's random people, dads, cousins, uncles that are saying they're agents and representing a group of high school kids because they know somebody that knows somebody, right? So they're going to make it to where, hey, got to be some guidelines, and they're putting a 5% cap on all college NIL agents. So they can only charge 5%. So beautiful. I love it. They're also protecting the collegiate leagues from antitrust laws. Now, that's what that gets into. Hey, pretty much this bill is backing up what NILGO and CSC are trying to do. It's backing them up, stating that, hey, man, this is getting out of control. It's getting a wild, wild west. It's going away from NIL. Players are not being paid for their name, image, and likeness. They are being paid to play. They're being paid like employees. So, and this bill also allows schools and conferences to establish what is and is not permissible. It would override current state laws, right? So these are the laws that SCUM is trying to pass. I think Tennessee and other ones that are trying to say, hey, you don't have to turn in any of your deals, right, to NILGO. Okay. So I think this is that aspect of this entire thing that I personally believe Ohio State is known about, because the way Ohio State has been operating fits into all of these guidelines. They're not going out and they're essentially offering players the revenue share aspect of their deal. That $14.5 million cap that we have, they're splitting that up between the team, offering it to these recruits. They haven't got together any NIL deals yet, because they brought it in-house, and now they're going to get with businesses once these players sign, and they're going to work that all out, right? But so it's rolling, man. This ball is rolling. There's been 1,500 deals processed through. There's been a ton denied. There's been 7-figure deals approved already, right? So certain players can still get that bag, right? But the interesting part about this, and I'm sure there's going to be all these haters and doubters, is we've built some relationships here on the Buckeye Boys. I've been on the phone with a couple different people, and I didn't bring this conversation up. And the word around that's going around is that there's some top recruits in certain schools that could possibly be decommitting and opening their recruitment back up. Why? Because it's funny money, man. Because it's money that they cannot pay these recruits. They are just absolutely front loading and offering these guys recruits. Why? Because they think that this is not going to pass. hey, we're not going to have to go through nil-go. It's going to continue to be the wild, wild west. Well, you see, man, the NCAA or whatever, nil-go, they had something up their sleeve here, and we'll kind of see as this goes along what happens there. But, man, I'm predicting that we're going to start seeing some decommitments happening because of the amount of money that these desperate schools are offering some of these recruits. I've heard firsthand that some of these recruits have now been told, hey, we can't give you that money. So that's what I've been told. And I think we're about to see that chain of events start happening. So that's what I mean when I say, hey, I think that Ohio State's class is going to change because we won some recruitments that we just got bought out of. Luke Waffle, several other ones that, we won. They wanted to come here, but you can't turn down $1 million difference, which is what they were getting.
Right.
Literally. Teams are offering $1 million more. So
right.
It's kind of wild, man. But
I think people don't understand that when they're like trying to bash LJ. Like $1 million extra dollars is a lot of money to say no to initially, even if it might not work out, you still take that risk, right? But I'm loving what I'm hearing. I think if this passes Congress, it doesn't matter. There's people saying, oh, they're going to sue and the judges and all. No, if it passes Congress and goes into law, it's not going to matter. You could sue and you're wasting your time, your money, and your energy. So like we've been saying, Ohio State was either going to be right or they were going to be wrong. And if they're right, we're going to have our class is going to look a lot different come signing day. I mean, we talked to a lot of these kids offline. A lot of them offer stuff to me and Dev that we don't even ask for. And a lot of them, I'm telling you, Ohio State was top dog for a lot of these kids, and money changed that scenario.
Yeah. Now, let me explain you guys something about, I see Lisa bringing up Felix Ojo in Texas Tech. Okay. So that $5.1 million, that's a contract, right? And let me say this before we get started. There's probably a lot smarter people out there than me that have read into this and they know something I don't know. They know the bill in Congress isn't going to pass or something, or maybe it's already went through and I haven't read the update yet. Listen, all I know is, nil-go and CSC were created to help get guidelines on college football. It needs it for the future of this sport, for the well-being of these kids that are going through. It needs it. The only people that are arguing against it, saying it's not fair, are these super desperate teams. But again, I'm only telling you guys what I think I know. Okay, so definitely could be reading this wrong or something. But
and with Felix Ojo, what they're doing is they took the 5.1 out of their 20 million rev share, because every team you get 20 million to spend. I think it's like 20 and a half to spend amongst all your programs, and they have to pick where they're going to put the money. Not every team is going to do what Ohio State is doing, which is trying to keep all their varsity sports, which means that the football program is getting 14 mil. Texas A&M might be giving their football program 17 mil of the 20.5 million. And they're taking that 5.1 million that they're giving to Felix and they're counting that against the rev sharing. So that's how it's able to do that with him. But if you're doing that big, huge contracts with every single player, it's not going to work because you have 20.5 million to spend on your entire football team.
So Texas Tech, against popular belief, is not guaranteeing Felix Ojo $5.1 million. They are only guaranteeing Felix Ojo $750,000 a year. That adds up to $2.25 million. That's the only guarantee he has. But Mello, you are correct. That part that is guaranteed is coming out of the revenue sharing and coming out of the part that is legal, that can go through nil-go and get approved. In the contract, they state, right, because it's pretty smart. Hey, man, they're prepared. If this goes one way and these rules stay in effect, boom, hey, we're still giving you $750,000, which is a crap ton of money if these rules go through and you got to go through clearinghouse and stuff. But they're also saying if it stays the wild, wild west, boom, we also got that side of the contract here that we can up these things, right? Yeah. So me and Funky did a show on that as well, and it kind of shows you where college football is going. Now these contracts, they got so many different things in them that are preparing for both outcomes. So it should go to show you that there is a lot of unknowns left in college football and these decisions to be made. So I'm telling you right now, all these deals that people are making and saying they're going to get, they can't even promise it because they don't know the end result. So like, you're a recruit getting offered $1.25 million a year by USC, and they're probably sitting there telling you, oh, yeah, we can give you this. They don't even know that.
Right.
They don't even know if they can or cannot, man. So it's a bunch of funny money. We've been saying it, and every step along the way is adding up to what we've been saying, that this is all ghost money.
Yep.
It's all desperate teams that are trying to take advantage of the confusion and get recruits on board. They're taking a big time risk here. You know what I mean? And they're gonna look good, or they're gonna look bad. And I think they're about to look bad. And I think Ohio State's about to look very, very smart with what they're doing. Yeah, I like it. Win stars align. Buckeyes playing chess, not checkers. I agree. And it's something that I think it's hard to understand, man. It's hard to grasp because there are so many unknowns. So when us as a fan base, we see defensive line recruiting going the way it's going, it's because of this. Like there's nobody else to blame here. I mean, look at the portal, for example. It is well known in college football. All the college coaches will tell you too. For some reason, this past portal, defensive line players were astronomically expensive. Yep. This was the most expensive that defensive linemen have ever been this past portal. And now they're saying the same thing about high school defensive linemen in this class. They're saying it's going out of control. This is the highest defensive lineman has ever been, right? So, again, that's one part of it. There also could be a little bit of LJ's old losing his juice. That could be true. There could be a little bit of that in there. But, man, not as much as the obvious one that's sitting in front of us. Would you yourself as a recruit take $1 million less to play somewhere a year for development? I don't think I would, man.
I know I wouldn't. I'm going to just be honest with you. I know I wouldn't. As much as I love Ohio State, I wouldn't. I'm banking that I could make it somewhere else.
Yeah, bro. I know, man. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. If I got offered a 3-year deal, and in that 3-year deal, I was going to make $5.1 million, I promise you at the end of those 3 years, I don't need another dime for the rest of my life. I can make $5.1 million with interest. I'm going to earn 4.95% on my Fidelity cash account. I'm going to live off the interest for the rest of my life. Like, right. I'm Gucci, baby. Like, I don't need nothing else. So, yeah, it's wild times, and teams are just straight up lying to recruits and their families, saying they have this thing locked down. Look, it's a state law. We have a state law, like scum. Oh yeah, look, our legislators are making this a state law where we don't gotta. Well, boom, here comes in Big Daddy Congress. It's gonna override all these state laws.
I guess they don't know that federal is bigger than state. Federal is national.
Shoot, they think they are federal, man. What are you talking about? They think they are the capital of this country, dude. They're such jokers, bro. Like,
capital of terrorists.
I saw somebody put out a freaking top 10 safeties list, and of course, Caleb Downs was up there, and I think Rod Moore was number 3, bro.
Man, he might not even be back for the start of the season.
Yeah, bro. Who made this list? Like,
I don't know, but Rod Moore, healthy, he's a good player. I won't take that away from him. But he might not even be back in time for the start of the season. Yeah. And you don't know how he's going to react off of a devastating injury like that.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you haven't seen the dude play in forever. How in God's creation is he on a top 10 safety list with the amount of talented safeties that we have in this thing? As of right now, I mean, I'm picking Fahim Delane over Rod Moore. The dude's injured. I don't even know if he can play football again. Like, what are we talking about here? So, yeah, Dennis Moore, he said he's hurt. He's not ready. He's from his hometown. Hurt. He's not ready. You know, what I've heard from that is they're not sure if he is going to be ready, period.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Of course, I don't know. But
you also got, what's his name? Dylan Finn. I don't know how to say his last name, out in Oregon that just transferred out there. You got KJ
Hyman.
Bolden. You got the safety from Texas. That's pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of great safeties out here. Like for someone that hasn't played in almost 2 years, crazy.
Yeah. So there's a lot of teams that are getting on board with what's going on. Colorado has done away with any nil or any collectives. Alabama, which is very surprising to me, has now done away with any nils or collective groups. Notre Dame, Georgia, Ohio State, and Illinois. Those are some of the confirmed teams that have gone away with any
Hold on, before we leave, you see how only one team has done that before the July 1st date. Everybody else, what I think is they tried to front load all that money through the NIL, get it signed and sealed and delivered before it went into effect, and then they got rid of their NIL thing. So I want to see how they're going to handle that, because that's kind of like a gray area. And I think that's why you see Georgia doing what they're doing right now in recruiting. You saw what's going on at Bama. They got some pretty good class. And Oregon, obviously, they're just going to throw money at the problem because nobody wants to live in Oregon for whatever reasons, far from everything. So I want to see, that's interesting. I want to see what's going to happen with that.
I know. Well, I'll tell you one thing that's guaranteed to happen. Let me run this scenario by you. Okay. You're a 5-star quarterback. I'm a 5-star, and that's a bad idea. So you're a 5-star wide receiver. I'm a 5-star wide receiver. USC, right? They get you to sign early. They front load your deal, $1 million a year. Okay, boom, signed. You get your money. You're on the team. I come in later in the recruiting process. Okay, after July 1st, when things have changed.
Yeah,
they offer me $200,000 a year. Boom, I sign. I'm sitting here beside you. We're both 5 stars, both big time players, except for you are getting $1 million. I find out.
Yeah,
I'm whooping your butt all over the field. You're not ahead of me in the depth chart, nothing like that. And we're in the locker room one day talking as boys, and I find out you're making $1 million and I'm only making $200,000. What does human nature tell us to do in that instance?
Oh, I need a pay raise. I'm finding a new job. I need a pay raise or I'm finding a new job, period.
Yeah, you're darn right. You better. Now, now take that scenario right there. And let's say all these rules pass. What are we going to do with the 2027 class next year when the average pay this year for 5-star offensive tackles was $2 million a year? What are we going to do to the 5-star tackles next year? So you're telling me we're going to have a freshman next year that comes in making $250,000, playing beside a non-starter making $2 million? I wonder how that's going to affect the culture in the locker room. Let me tell you how it's going to affect it. Going to cause some chaos, man.
Yep.
It's going to cause people not focusing on the game of football and life. And plus, add into this, these are young men. Boy, when I was 18 and 19, I don't think my testosterone and my competitiveness could have been any higher.
Yeah.
It was through the roof. So every time I stepped on a basketball court, I judged myself against every other basketball player on that court.
Right.
And wanted to be the best. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I think there's some decommitments heading this way. There are a lot of changes that are coming that's going to cause a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion. Ohio State has chosen the simple route. So during all this chaos and confusion, when USC and Scum are sorting through and redoing all their deals and trying to hold their class together and trying to hold their culture together because they have a freshman quarterback or a freshman defensive end making more than their starting defensive end, while they're all worried about that in their office, Ohio State's going to be practicing football on the football field. The players are going to be in the classroom getting straight A's. They're going to be driving the speed limit going down the road. You know what I'm saying? Like Ohio State.
And they won't be getting sanctioned to death either. So don't forget that part.
Yeah. So, so Ohio State's class is Gucci.
Yep.
Right? With the structure that they have set up, this changes nothing. This doesn't. They're going to continue the same process. So they are going to have this process down as well. They're going to have a 6 month, 10 months advantage of understanding this process, working this process, understanding those conversations with the recruits, the experience there, families, all that. They're going to have that in their back pocket as well against all these other teams. So,
yeah.
Elite Sports asking, what decommits are we going to get, Mello? I pay attention to the USC class. I'll tell you that right off the rip. So
that's where we'll start. We'll just say that. We don't want to give out any names, but I think you guys are smart enough to put it together.
Let me tell you this too. I will give you let me say this. I think there's a chance that Ohio State ends up with another big time defensive end that is already committed to another school that is not named Luke Waffle. His name has never been brought up or anything. It's just a kind of behind the scenes prediction I'm making. I will never say a name. I'll never do that. I was told not to. I'm not going to, right? But best believe this stuff is happening behind the scenes. Families and players are having these conversations. Schools are having these conversations with players right now. It's happening. Right? Like now's the time. They were living in La La Land, and now some of them are starting to get a little shaken in their boots that their plan might not work out. So now they're starting to take a couple steps back, go to these recruits, and maybe rework a little things they got going on. So, Mel, I do want to, we haven't really addressed this. Will Starr says, how much does it hurt losing Sam Petito? Mello, you want to?
I say it stings. It's like a bee sting. I mean, we still have our GM, who is Pantoni. He's still here. So, like, that would have been the biggest loss. But they tripled his pay. So you can't pay Sam Petito. They're going to replace him with somebody that's pretty elite. We'll see who they're going to get. But it's Ohio State. They always replace someone either equal level or better. So always remember that. So, yes, it'll sting a little bit, especially because he had ties to the deep, deep South. But a lot of people think that Blaine Bradford is going to flip because Sam went to LSU. I don't think they're correlated at all.
Okay, so chat, I'm going to need your help with this. Mello, you as well. I don't really remember all this, but let's go through the coaches that have left when Ryan Day has been the coach and who he's had to replace them with. I mean, you know, Alfred got replaced with Coach Locke. Chat,
Combs.
Did we win or lose in that one? When he made that replacement, did Day make a good hire? Did we upgrade? I think the answer is yes. Yeah. Defensive coordinator went out and hired Jim Knowles, who went from Combs to Jim Knowles, right?
Yep.
Did we upgrade?
Absolutely.
Did we win there?
Yep.
Another win. So Ryan Day, we lost somebody. Ryan Day came, hired somebody, another upgrade. Coach Fry this year, right? At least half of it's a win. The recruiting is an upgrade.
Yeah.
We talk to the recruits. We know for a fact it's an upgrade. As far as building a relationship with recruits, Coach Bowen is 100 times better at that.
Yep.
So as of right now, we got half a win there. We'll see about the development side, but okay. Now we go from Jim Knowles to Matt Patricia. Well, half of that's a win. Jim Knowles didn't recruit Matt Patricia. All the recruits, they love Matt Patricia. We'll wait and see the on-field stuff. But point is has Ryan Day let us down yet with his hires?
Hell no. I mean, no.
Well, no, the answer is hell no. The answer is hell no. You're right. Hell no. He has not, man. So in my eyes, Sam Petito is a pretty big loss. We're going to downplay it as Ohio State fans. We're going to downplay it. That's a gut punch, man. A lot of connections to the Deep South, like you talked about, LSU, right? Now all this Blaine Bradford flipping nonsense, that's just complete click garbage. He's as locked in as the most locked in recruit we have right now, right? So he is going nowhere. That's a promise. So that's fake. But yeah, it's a loss. But it's Ohio State just won a national title, right? I mean, you know, I think what Lane Kiffin just did a recent interview and he said Steve Sarkisian and Kirby Smart are running the best programs in the United States right now, went on and on and on about them. It's like, no, dude, the number one program in the nation right now, as we sit here, is Ohio State. How do you judge who has the best program? Well, who just won the national title? There's no, what are you talking about? There's no.
Who won the national title? Who's killing it in the classroom with Harvard? Who's not getting speeding tickets? Who's not crashing cars? Who's not getting arrested every weekend? Who's putting God first and loud and proud about their faith? Like,
Yeah. I mean,
it's so obvious who has the best assistant coaches and developers. I bet you if someone gave Quinn Ewers truth serum, I guarantee you he regrets transferring to Texas. I guarantee you he wouldn't be a 7th round pick if he stayed and got developed by Ryan Day. That's all I'm going to say. So, like, these people, the SEC, all they're doing is tugging on each other and trying to build each other up because they know they're on the decline and on the way down.
listen, when you have if you're a quarterback and you have a wide receiver room that Ohio State has, it's pretty much impossible for you to get drafted in the 7th. I mean, Kyle McCord didn't get drafted in the 7th round, and we think he was the crappiest quarterback come through Ohio State in a long, long time. Okay, so like, bro, the snowball effect that Brian Hartline's recruiting his wide receivers has on this program goes quite a long ways, to be honest with you. You know, offensive linemen, they love blocking for a good quarterback, and you know, good running backs like being behind good, you know, offensive linemen, you know, so it's just, there's this snowball
Let's not
effect.
forget the tight ends. So, like, for instance, Julian Sayin is going to have a plethora of options, skill players to just deliver the ball to. He's going to go out there and he's going to be a distributor. And I think our offense is going to be elite still. Personally, I think they're going to shock a lot of people. I think a lot of people nationally are praying for our downfall. I mean, people hate when you're on top, right? That's natural. But if you look at the players and their focus, you watch the kids come on here. There's a reason we always ask them, what's the experience like when you go to the Woody? Have you been to a practice? What is the practice like? You could go back and rewind every recruit interview that we've done. And these are recruits getting recruited by Georgia, Texas, Oregon, all the big dogs, Alabama. And they listen to how they talk about Ohio State and they say it's different. It's different at Ohio State. The practice is so competitive. It's intense. The brotherhood is different. You have kids that have transferred from Alabama here, that transferred from Ole Miss here last year, that are saying the brotherhood here and the culture here is way different than where they came from. So a lot of people are going to hate, but the proof is going to be put on the field. And I'm telling you, August 30th, do not be shocked with what the Buckeyes are about to do. It's going to be, just think about this. Texas has 4 new starting offensive linemen, 4 new starting offensive linemen, a starting new quarterback, and they're coming to the shoe. The same shoe where Indiana center or the guard, I think it was the center that said he couldn't hear his guard next to him. How loud do you think the shoe's going to be with Texas coming in? I don't care that it's a big new game. It's not going to matter. So you're talking about this freshman who played a whole bunch of garbage teams that everybody was like, oh, he was so amazing. But go look at his stat line when he played UGA and when he played Florida. He didn't do anything, bro. Look what he did when he came in our game. He had 1 run, he fumbled, and he was out the game after that.
Yeah.
Like, do not be shocked. Like when me and Brad said we expect a 10-point win, that's what we're standing on that, 10 toes.
Yeah. Oh, you gave your predictions for the Texas game?
Yeah, me and Brad. We didn't give a score. We just said we think we win by 10 points.
I'm gonna have to think about that one for a minute for sure. But
we got time.
Question for the chat and you as well, Mello. Has there been anybody reporting on what's going on with NIL and this bill that Congress might pass and this?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. When we came on and you just told me pre-record, that's the first time I heard of it.
You know how that makes me feel like I'm so wrong. It's not even funny, but I don't know how I would be. I don't know how I'm reading what everybody else.
You saw that and you read that. You saw.
I think everybody else is scared to report on it because it's not done yet. Like this could blow up. You know what I mean? And, you know, something else could happen. But man, I'm sticking to it. I predict that Ohio State is doing the right thing, and they are going to look very smart.
Absolutely.
Right within the next 6 months, we're going to know how smart Ohio State is playing their cards right now. And there's going to be some changes, you know, that I keep seeing everybody talk about this guy right here. By the way, before I forget, shout out Will Starr, man, makes our thumbnails for us in the chat, helping us out all the time, man. Got to make him.
He's very talented.
Yeah. Got to give him a wrench on the show so he can zap some people. Even though, man, we don't have that many trolls. Don't have a lot of trolls coming in our chat. I like it. So that's good stuff.
Yep.
But OSU
King
wanted.
Joseph. So King Joseph played down here in Gwinnett County. He played for Buford, and then he transferred. He played for Buford. I think he played 1 year with Edric Houston. Then he transferred to Mill Creek, Caleb Downs' high school. Dude is elite. I actually talked to him a little bit on X, and he said, "Man, you guys got it going on over there." Because I was like, "Hey, you should. Columbus is nice around this time of the year. You should holler at your boys, and you know they like the Gwinnett County boys over here." And he said, "Yeah." He was like, "You guys got it going on over there." And then I saw that LJ started following him right after that. So we'll see. I don't have any insider information on that. But that would be, if you think about it, he's a redshirt freshman, so he has 4 more years. So even if he came this year, it'll be like his first year. So that's an extra defensive end to this D-line class, which we already thought was pretty elite with Ziggy Grady, Jarquez Carters, and all those boys. And you add him, then that just takes it up like 3 or 4 levels already. So there's more than one way to skin a cat. If we could get him out the portal, let's see what happens. I know down here there's word that UGA wants him, but I don't know if UGA has the money to keep spending like that right now, but we'll see.
Yeah. So he hasn't entered the portal yet because the portal's not open, but key word is he plans to enter the portal.
Yeah, they opened up an additional portal window. I think it starts on the 17th.
Well, that's only for the players that got cut because of the 105 roster limit.
Well, I mean, they could present it that way. They could present it that way.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. You could be right. I have no idea, but anyway, I don't feel good about. I did a little research on him, and I'm just telling you, I feel like he's probably going to go to the highest bidder, but could be way off.
It could.
You never know.
I mean,
yeah,
it could happen.
So, what's up with Deuce Gerald's? Very, very good question, man. I wish we had an answer for you. If we lived in a world where just straight up relationships and the love of a program and your brothers and coaching, Deuce Gerald is a Buckeye, right? He just is. We've talked to him several times. He's a Buckeye boy, been on the show, have conversations with him. But here recently, Mello, do you know a lot of details about what he put in the chat or whatever?
So Darius Gray put out his top 4 or top 5. He's about to commit, and Deuce, and he said, "Where's home?" And Deuce dropped a little buck nut. That's what I call it, even though it's really technically an acorn, but I call it a buck nut. We're taking over that. And he dropped the buck nut emoji right in the comments, like that's home. So for me, I actually, me and Dev just had this conversation pre-recorded as well. Deuce's high school is heavily, and I mean heavily, pro Ohio State, even over any UGA, any Bama. Huge Ohio State fandom there. So for me, it comes down to one or two things. Either he's going to choose culture as his currency, or he's going to choose currency as his currency, and that's it. If he chooses culture, he's a Buckeye, period. If all things are equal, if we're like within 200,000, 300,000 range of money, he's a Buckeye. But if it's like $1 million, you can't expect anybody to turn down $1 million difference in money.
Well, I was going to say this, man. I'm pretty sure Deuce Gerald's and his family, because of his dad playing in the NFL and stuff, is pretty well off. I mean,
they got money. They live in a nice area. They got money.
Yeah. Well, we saw the car he was sitting in when he did the interview with us as well. So that's not your normal 16-year-old vehicle, man. I tell you. But somebody said that dude's already in the portal. Shoot, man, I don't know. I mean, I can't keep up with all this. Could be, I don't know, whatever. He's in the portal. Plans on entering the portal is the same thing to me. So I don't know there. But yeah, Deuce, I mean, we'll see. I think we all, right? We all can know one thing. Somebody put in there that Oregon-bound Fong put in a bomb for Oregon. Let me tell you that about 2 weeks ago, I started my little research thing of Fong getting Fong bombs correct, because Fong will he'll change it 10 minutes after they have committed. He really will. He will change them after they commit, so it looks like he's right. I pay attention to those things, and as I was going along, I think he was at about a 10% hit rate. I didn't get done with it yet, but that's the first one he ever puts in. That's the one I held him to, right? That's what we do here. Like on the Buckeye Boys, if we put in a boys boom, that's what it's staying. I don't care if the recruit calls us and says you're wrong. I'm not going to switch it to whatever team. We just do, hey, we think they're coming to Ohio State, we'll let you know, right? But he changes them all the time. But in today's day and age, man, with everything going on, all this confusion, could be surprised, man. You really could be. I do, however, think that Deuce is one of those players, phenomenal player, and I hope he's a Buckeye dude. The dude is an absolute beast. I think I could see him pull a little troll job on the Ohio State fans. Don't you, Mello? Didn't he have that type of
he could
personality?
Do that.
Could be.
He could,
anyway.
But at the same time, he has too many like people we consider brothers that are on the team. I don't know him to do that. It really is very simple. Either he's going to choose the money or he's going to choose the culture. It's that simple.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah. Don't forget the Buckeye Boys chat, hashtag culture over currency. Hey, bro, I see Will Star in the chat and I see Will Star World. Are those two different people? They have the same logo and everything. Am I tripping right now?
No. Look, I just saw that too. It's definitely
Will
the same
Star,
person.
Will Star World. What's going on? Will Star, you messaging on two different things right now? Is that what's going on? Huh. But yeah, Grandpa, it's K-Mac. Oh, okay. K-Mac, Edric, yeah.
And Caleb Downs. They all grew up together.
Yeah, they're really, really close. But long story short, I expect the most decommitments we've seen in the past 10 years this recruiting cycle. That's what I'm predicting. I think we're going to see an astronomical amount of decommitments before signing day, Absolutely. Some flipping happening. I think Ohio State has a pretty solid class, might lose one or two, maybe. Depends on which way this bill goes. But honestly, I wouldn't bet on Ohio State losing anybody really. So
yeah, I think it's going to be, I'm going to be honest. I think flip season is going to be insane. I think it's going to be total chaos. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, everybody, I want to remind you, man, we're streaming on the Scoop channel, but we also have our own channel called the Buckeye Boys. I know it's confusing. I'm very sorry. We're a Scoop family, but we also, our show, me and Mello, we focus on interviews and recruiting. We like to get to know recruits, and the information we get is from that, right? We talk to a lot of Ohio State players in the locker room right now on the team, a lot of parents to those players, a lot of commits that are committed, and a lot of 27, 28. We're already watching their film, already contacting them. We've got a list. I think we got a 30-player list of 2027 recruits that are come on this show that Ohio State has offered. Like, that's how big our list is. We're just holding off till it gets that time to do it. So we just operate a little differently, but go over to the Buckeye Boys, please, and subscribe. We are so close to 5,000 subscriptions, and I don't know why, but I would be very excited to get 5,000 subscribers in less than a year.
Because I think we're going on. It's a big accomplishment, man. It means that people actually like our content and they enjoy what we're doing, what we're bringing to the table, and we enjoy interacting with them. So, like, of course, 5,000 is huge.
Yeah, and if you guys like now, the views I got like going live at the games outside the stadium wasn't a lot last year at all, but I don't give a dang. I'm doing it again this year because that's probably the funnest videos I do.
Yeah.
I go live at the game as I'm going in. So I stay live the whole time, interview some people before they open the gates. Yeah. And then I'll keep it going so you guys can see what it's like to be at the game if you happen to not be there.
Right.
Hopefully this year at the Washington game, we'll probably do like 4 or 5 live shows there because there's so many events we're going to. Hopefully Mello can be there and do all that stuff.
I know. Shortly.
Yeah. So
the only thing with going live at the games, just to let everybody know, once we get in the games, they have like some kind of blocker. Their stuff is crazy, top notch. You're not going to live stream anything.
Yeah.
They shut it all internet down, so it's almost impossible to do it inside.
I'm gonna try to get Starlink, see if Starlink overpowers any of their blockers they have.
I don't know. Isn't Elon and the president beefing right now? He might have shut down Starlink.
Listen, I know it's not wise to talk about politics on a channel. Well, I got a news flash for everybody. I couldn't talk about them if I wanted to. I don't pay much attention to them. Hate on me if you want. I just don't. I enjoy my life as it is right here. So,
Yeah.
but hey, we Buckeyes fans, this class is phenomenal. I don't give a dang where it's ranked. Please, folks, understand that these recruiting services are taking recruits that aren't even ranked. They don't even have them ranked. And we're
Yeah.
going to, what, are we a year? We're less than a year away from signing day, right?
Yeah.
Are we?
December
Yeah.
4th is early
Yeah.
signing day.
Okay. And they're moving him to top 50 players in the nation. I'm not saying they're wrong, right, in what they're doing. I'm saying that should show you how difficult it is for these guys to get these rankings,
Yeah.
to go even lay eyes on these recruits.
Right.
Most of the time, the only information they get is videos or an opinion of a coach and something, and they're taking that information and they're making a big list. This is a list of opinions, right? And we've seen 5 stars bust. We've seen them succeed. We've seen 3 stars. I mean, Joey Bosa was the 13th ranked player in Florida. Okay. Now, go back to his class and tell me where you think he ranks nationally. All the players in that class, where would you put him? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm putting him above 13 nationally.
He's definitely Uno at DN and anywhere on the D line spot, period. Him, his brother Chase Young, all of them number one. Top 5 players nationally.
Yeah. I'm on that kick right now. So I promise you what I'm doing now is I'm going back through all the national title winning teams, and I'm gathering what their average star rankings were, those teams that won the national title. I'm going to figure out what their average star rankings were on offense, on defense, and in total, right? And then I'm going to look at Ohio State's, and then we're going to be able to judge, hey, where do we need to be falling? And then I'm going to take all those. I'm probably going to go the last 10 years minus last year, because that's when you cheat, you skew information. You guys are freaking cheaters, by the way, and you're getting screwed. But you're not getting screwed. You're getting justice. Your natty's gone. All your wins are gone. It's already a done deal. Your natty's gone. It's done. It's finished. It's decided. It's over with for you. For those of you that don't know, it's already done. That's gone. So anyway, what was I saying? I don't like those guys at all.
No, you were talking
I'm going to have
about,
that.
You're talking about you're going to do all the analytics and data for 5 stars, 4 stars, offense, defense, average, and all that.
Yeah. And I'm also going to have your average per position group as well for all these defensive line recruiting haters out there. I believe the data is going to show us that you don't have to have an average ranking of 5 stars to win a national title. Even though we had 2 5 stars on our line this year, I believe that's not the common trend that we see in the nation. But anyway, Mello, any final words?
Man, look, we're in a dynastic run. Enjoy it. We're going to get a lot of flips before the season is started over. And just keep the faith and keep God first. That's all I have to say. Enjoy your family and treat life. Cherish it, because any minute you never know when you could be gone. And I just wanted to say rest in peace to Elizabeth Cuddy, girl I went to school with. She would just turned 40 like 2 months ago, passed away. So that's it.
Yeah, for sure. Praise God in the highs and the lows. I promise it's worth it. And remember, if you guys got family out there that you're in disagreement with, argument, you haven't talked to them, you haven't seen them in forever, or even if you just haven't seen them, make it a point to go see them, man. Family is everything. It'll make your day, man. Get past that stuff. You only get one family in this life. Don't take it for granted. But on that note, we appreciate our family here on the Buckeye Boys and the Scoop channel, Buckeye Nation. You guys are amazing. You're psychopaths. You're crazy. But I am too. Mello is as well. And we love you. We appreciate you for watching our show. Hit the subscribe button on the Buckeye Boys channel. Hit the like button. We appreciate you guys. Go Buckeyes. OH.
I-O.